round in, and Max Holloway's corner between rounds set up the pace. And that's kind of just what he did. That's all he kind of needed to do to take the fight away from Aldo. He just got in his face. Like, look at the difference between the first 2 rounds and the third round. Holloway literally just got in his face, started going forward, started throwing shots. And especially, I'll say it again, but the jab. He was leading with the jab. He was throwing 1-2 right down the middle. And you saw it, the knockdown from Aldo, 1-2 straight down the middle, got him to the ground, and he finished it from there.
I thought Aldo won the first 2 rounds, but with about 2 minutes or a minute and a half to go in the second round, I thought Aldo noticeably slowed and looked a bit tired, which is early for him to slow down. And I think Max Holloway kind of noticed that, and his corner obviously must have noticed it because, as you said, they told him in between rounds to go for it and to up the output. But his output wasn't low. It was just Aldo in the first 2 rounds. It was just Aldo was making them miss and landing himself. But he did have some. It wasn't all Aldo's way, but he looked like he was going to edge out the rounds, like he's so well known to do and has done masterfully over the years. But when you slow down against somebody with the volume of Max Holloway, and Max Holloway just capitalized like that 1-2, he landed it twice in a row when he dropped Aldo. Or back to the first round, sorry. People were saying, he didn't land any, he didn't throw any leg kicks, but the one he did throw in the first round, he got countered with a right hand by Max. Yeah. So when you get countered, and if you keep throwing that and keep getting countered, it's not going to work out well. So I can understand why Aldo stopped throwing them, but maybe he could have sprinkled in 1 or 2 throughout the rounds. But Max Holloway's obviously, he said himself in the lead up that he's been preparing for Aldo since he was 17, 18. And everybody knows that Aldo's leg kicks are really vicious and really important to his game. So Holloway was obviously ready for that as well. And I think that right hand counter to the leg kick that Aldo did throw showed that. And I think that Aldo tried to grapple with tried to initiate the clinch and he was already tired by that stage, and he couldn't get anywhere with it. And I thought Max did a very good job of breaking the takedown or breaking the clinch before it really got started, and negating any possible takedown attempts or trips from Aldo. So it was really well done by Max. He was patient. He didn't get frustrated when Aldo was edging out the rounds at the start, and he just waited till Aldo got tired and then upped his pace and put him away beautifully. And like, he threw a lot of punches in a row when he had Aldo rocked. And at one stage, you were when the fight wasn't being stopped by the ref, you thought maybe he might gas himself out here. But Aldo was so dazed by the shots that I think even if the ref had let it go to the end of the round, I think it was just a matter of time before Aldo was put away by Holloway.
Yeah, a few points there just on the leg kicks as well. I think I noticed a couple of things with the leg kicks, right? I think Holloway did a very good job of not letting Aldo kick him by being very square on. If you look at him all the time, like when Aldo kicks you, he likes to kind of be stretched to the kick, if you know what I mean, so he can catch you right on the end of the curve of the kick. You talked about that one kick he threw in the first round. Max Holloway did counter it, but look at the way he kicked it. Like, Aldo's leg was about almost 90 degrees when he was throwing it, because Holloway was so close and so square on. You need to get a bit of you need to get a kind of a curve to it so you can land it perfectly. Like, imagine like you want to kick someone who's standing 2 inches in front of you in the side of the leg. That's almost impossible. But if they're like 3 feet away from you, it's going to be a lot easier. You can time it and kick them there. So I think Holloway did that. And he was obviously a little bit farther away than that from him, but he was also like stepping on the outside of Aldo. You saw him staying in the orthodox stance as well for most of the fight. That's another thing. I'm sure Aldo thought that he would fight southpaw a lot, because obviously Holloway has done that before. You heard Dominic Cruz saying that in the commentary. So Aldo would have also been looking for the inside leg kicks a lot. Maybe that was a plan of his, coming in to look for the inside leg kicks rather than the outside leg kicks, and they never presented themselves to him with his favorite leg. But there's another thing as well. I think coming into, and I said it to you, I thought Aldo might be carrying an injury or something, and I said this before the fight as well. Like, you look at Aldo coming up to most of his other fights, you always see him, smashing that bag in his workouts and stuff, and in embedded and things all the time. That's one of those things about Aldo. You're thinking, you hear people saying about it, covering that man in a blanket, like, so he doesn't get injured again, because he trains so hard, like that, so close to the fight. And maybe it was just a tactic of his not to do that this time, so he could keep healthy. But I don't know, it kind of looked weird to me, and I thought he might be injured before the fight. In the fight itself, he looked okay, but not throwing leg kicks as much, even like not even trying to throw leg kicks is a thing he's been doing less recently. He's definitely not throwing as many leg kicks recently, but I think against Holloway, it would have been, you know, wise to step outside and try to kick his leg. But I don't know, I could be wrong with that.
Yeah, I think if history is anything to go by, if Aldo had any kind of significant injury, he would have pulled out, no matter when it was sustained. But all fighters have, well, nearly all fighters have little niggles and small injuries going into fights after 8-week camps. So I'd be surprised if he didn't have something and some kind of injury, and I'd be surprised if Max didn't have some kind of injury as well. But I think if it was any significant big hindrance injury, I think Aldo would have pulled out.